Hello everyone, my name is Jaapie van Deventer and I am from South Africa, born and raised. But for the last 17 years I've been living in the Netherlands. But at the moment I'm in the Seychelles. Blue skies, palm trees, spectacular beaches behind us. One of my favorite things to do is to travel, and I like photography. And one thing I'm proud of is some of my travel photos have been featured worldwide on CNN. And how I got to Morel, Lindsay found me online via LinkedIn.
Well folks, these are your ladies in Gainesville, Georgia.
I'm here today with Taylor Copwell. We're just getting to know one another. I've got a couple questions. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And where do you live now?
Well, Kate, I'm actually from South Florida, a little place called Coral Springs. I grew up in Beaufort, Georgia. We moved up to Georgia when I was about 11 years old. Been here ever since, and I love it, baby.
Can you name something about you that people would be surprised to know?
I've actually been hit by a car not once, not twice, but 3 times. You believe that? I'm still walking.
Still walking. What would you say is your favorite game or hobby?
You know, I just love going to Topgolf. I have a killer golf swing. I can just hit dingers all night long, so I love Topgolf. That'd be probably one of my favorites.
Well, there you go, folks. That was Taylor Copwell. Get to know her, get to love her. Hey, y'all. I'm here today with my friend, Stephanie James. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And where do you live now?
I'm from New York. New York City. I'm city girl.
City girl. So, okay. And obviously now you live in Georgia, and I see you're a big fan of the few
Big fan. My Falcons.
Woo! Yes! Tell me, what is your favorite game or sport or hobby and what you like to do on your time off?
I do not follow the sports at all. I know the Falcons. I like the color, matches my shirt. However, I love to crochet. Would you believe that? Just like a little old lady.
All right, well, tell me something else.
I do love to sing in the shower.
Oh.
Yes, I'm pretty good, just like Whitney Houston.
I know that's something people don't know about you, but what else might they not know about
I
you?
was just hot-tempered and feisty, very feisty. It took me many years to calm down.
That is totally intriguing, and remind me never to piss you off.
Don't piss off a Yankee.
Well, thanks for joining us, folks, and getting to know Stephanie James just a little bit. We love her.
How's everyone doing? I'm here with Kate McAuliffe, and we're gonna get to know her. How you doing, Kate?
Hello, Taylor. I'm good.
Good. Well, we're gonna get to know you. I'm gonna ask you a few questions. Tell me where you were born.
Well, I was actually born in Buffalo, New York, but grown up all around the country. I've lived in Illinois, I've lived in New Jersey, I have lived in Kentucky, and I have lived in North Carolina, and now I'm in Georgia, and I've been in Georgia a couple different times. It's the second longest state I've ever lived in.
Tell me, what is your favorite game or sport to play?
I like to play games, but I really love seasonally Georgia football, baby.
Now I want you to name something about you or something you've done that people would be surprised to know. Come on.
I actually have been thrown out of Canada twice.
Now tell me what your proudest accomplishment is so far.
I have been a fabulous auntie to my nephews and my niece. Their second mama, if you will.
Well, Kate, I appreciate you talking to us today. Gotta love her.
Girls from Latin America, TA team. Today we want to talk to you about ourselves, okay? So you can get to know us. So let's start with Juliana. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And where do you live now?
I was born in São Paulo and I grew up in São Paulo, and now I'm living in Campinas to attend Morel, and I have the opportunity to know my partner Diane.
What do you like to do in your free time? What's your hobby?
In general, I like to do many things, but nowadays I used to draw, things like that.
Name something about you or something you've done that people would be surprised to know.
I like to practice yoga, so I know how to do some interesting position.
What's your proudest accomplishment so far?
I'm proud to work with diversity and inclusion, bring more opportunity for Black girls like me to develop myself and give the possibilities for other women.
And how did you come to Morel?
Definitely find me on LinkedIn. After that, I saw Mickey, Paul for sure, that I learned all the time thinking in a calm way. So I would like to know more about you. Where are you born? Where did you grow up? And where do you live now?
That's easy. I was born, I grew up, and I still live in Campinas. I've been here for my whole life. I love the city.
What's your favorite hobby?
I have some hobbies, but one thing that I like the most is to play board games. I have a collection of them.
Name something about you or something you've done that people would be surprised to know.
Well, I don't know if that's a big deal, but I sing. So I have a channel of me singing on some of the videos with my husband. He plays the guitar. And I also have another channel talking about funny videos. Surprise, surprise, I like to record videos, so that's it for me.
How did you come to Morel?
I came to Morel through Stephanie as well. She found me on LinkedIn, and for the first time that I talked to her, I loved her. She's amazing. And then after that, I have a number of interviews with Mickey, Yapi, and Paul. They are all so great. That's all. Bye-bye. Nice talking to you. We are here today to get to know a little bit better about Katrina.
Hi everyone, my name is Katrina. I'm originally from China. Right now I'm living in Copenhagen, Denmark, and I grew up in a small city in the north of China. And after I graduated from college in the first time in China, I moved to Shanghai. I worked for a couple of years and then I moved to Denmark for education. And after my education, I found this job at Morel.
What do you like to do on your free time?
Oh, I'm a huge sports fan. I used to watch NBA games all the time. I recently started to watch tennis game. I love it so much.
Name something about you or something you've done that people would be surprised to know.
I'm married to a Romanian guy. I'm Chinese, he's a Romanian, so most people will be very surprised to hear that. How is that even possible?
What's your proudest accomplishment so far?
I actually had a good job and I had my parents' support in China. Regardless, I came to Denmark, to a European country, just by myself. I have made it so far. That's pretty amazing.
And how did you come to Morel?
I was job hunting, so I've been hunting people online. My future employer, one of them I hunted is Yap. So I messaged him and he was so nice. He replied me saying, okay, I'm not sure if we have job opportunity, but let's have a meeting first.
Bye
Thank you,
Today
Dad.
I am sitting with Kasia, and Kasia is all the way from Poland. But Kasia, before I start with the questions, first let me ask you, do you like dogs?
Yes, I think it's like everybody knows about, right? In the team probably already. So yes.
Kasia
Yeah.
is a dog person. So Kasia, where were you born and where did you grow up and where do you live now?
I was born in Poland, in Silesia, and I also grew up here. And now I live in Poland, in Katowice, and also in Germany, in Görlitz.
What is your favorite sport?
My husband Lucas, he is very into Manchester United, so I don't have so much choice. So I needed just to like Manchester. Well, what I personally like to do is swimming.
Name something about you or something you've done that people would be surprised to know.
I'm a person who just loves to plan everything, really, like structure everything.
What is your proudest accomplishment so far?
I'm supporting my business from my parents.
Last question for today.
Yes.
How did you come to Morel?
My dear colleague Martin, he called me. He mentioned that at Morel it's a great TA team, the great people, the great manager, Lindsay, and you just need to be here, Kasia.
Thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you.
So
Bye-bye.
guys, today I'm sitting down with Bodewijn, and Bodewijn is a man with a quarter of a century of experience in talent acquisition. That's 25 years.
Oh my God! Wow!
That's a lot of experience. But Bodewijn, tell me, where were you born and where did you grow up and where do you live now?
I was actually born in the Netherlands in the west, in a small city called Voorschoten. And today I live in Eindhoven.
Do you have a favorite sport or game that you like to watch or to play?
I'm not really into sports. Actually, when the Dutch soccer team was in the final, I think it was the World Championship in South Africa, I was walking my dog. So I'm more into cooking. If you put a lot of attention in it and a lot of love, you taste it.
I would like to know something about you that would surprise someone on the team.
When choosing for my education, I had to choose between technical education, which I did, or the conservatory. I was really into music and piano playing.
So how did you end up at Morel?
I knew some people in Morel. When I was looking for another job as a recruiter, I reached out to them. Here we are.
What is your proudest accomplishment so far?
Doing good work for the customers is really a proud moment for me.
Well, that were all the questions for today. Thank you very much. We are sitting with Martin from Germany. Guten Morgen, Martin.
Guten Morgen, ja.
Wie geht's?
Sehr gut, danke schön.
Where were you born and where did you grow up and where do you live now?
Born in a little city close to the former frontier, to the DDR, we called it, Eastern Germany. And I grew up in the middle of Germany and I live now in the northern part of Bavaria.
Aha, famous for the beer.
That's right, yeah, I like it.
But what is your favorite sport or game to play?
Yeah, darts is my favorite sport and game. It's good to focus and after a working day. It's a mental sport. Yeah, I like it a lot and I always following the championship.
How did you come to Morel?
An agency asked me to help at Thrive, former acquisition from Morel. So I agreed and said, okay, I will have a look. And then I met Lindsay. She convinced me to help and start with Thrive.
Perfect. Hey guys, I'm sitting with Martin, our resident IT guru. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And where do you live now?
I was born in Utrecht, middle of the center of the Netherlands. Lived most of my days in Nuenen. That's a small village near Eindhoven in the south. And I'm living in Brandenvoort at the moment.
I know for a fact that you are big into hockey. So is that your favorite sport? And do you like watching other sports?
Yeah, I like watching every sport, almost every sport, but yeah, indeed, field hockey has my preference. That's what I've been doing all my life, and also giving training and coaching teams. Yeah, I have to agree that that's my favorite sport.
Name something about you or something you've done that people would find interesting to know.
I've been bungee jumping from around 100 meters. I've been on a survival course in the Alps for 3 weeks.
How did you get to Morel?
Yeah, that was just through two ways. One way I knew Morel already because of my former employee, also the old former employee of Jaap. Joined Morel October last year through a message with Michiel Baas because he was looking for an IT recruiter on LinkedIn. Within a week, Lindsay got me on board.
Which languages do you speak?
I speak Dutch, English, a bit of German, French. Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Martin. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Adela today. We're going to get a chance to know her a little better. Hi, Adela.
Hi, Kate.
First question I have for you. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And where do you live now?
Well, I was born in Czechoslovakia, former Czechoslovakia. Now it's the Czech Republic. In the northeastern part, in the city which is called Ostrava. I moved 14 years ago to the Netherlands, and I live now in the south of the Netherlands in the village Berkel en Schot, close to city Tilburg.
Tell us something about you or something you've done that people would be surprised to know.
And most of the people would not expect me that I would ever get a diver's license, open body waters. But I really love to watch the sea and the animals there. So I had to really overcome this fear, which has been really an issue for me for quite a long time. So I'm very proud of that.
What is your other proudest accomplishment you've had so far?
I'm proud mom of my son, 7.5, so I'm very proud of having him, watching him growing up.
We do appreciate you taking a few minutes today to let us get to know you better on the talent acquisition.
Good morning, guys. Today I'm sitting down with Lindsay, and Lindsay is the best female leader on the planet and our resident jet setter every week in a different location. From the Netherlands to the UK to Ghana to Denmark to Slovakia. But Lindsay, first tell me, where were you born and where did you grow up and where do you live now?
I was born on a day trip. My parents went to Leicester, which is nice and embarrassing for me. So I was born in the United Kingdom. I spent the first 3 years of my life in the UK across multiple locations and ended up in the Netherlands and have lived here ever since.
What is your favorite game to watch or play?
I think I'm forced into football and technically speaking I should be a Manchester United fan, but unfortunately I'm a Tottenham fan and have been for a very long time, so it causes quite some rife in our house. I was a big swimmer when I was at school and I do really enjoy watching swimming and running. So yeah, a bit of a combination there.
Would you like to name something about you that people would be surprised to know?
I'm actually a relatively shy person. Probably most people wouldn't believe that.
Please. what is your proudest accomplishment so far?
Being able to quite easily relocate on short notice. I did it on my own.
Yeah.
Something Michael and I did together. I moved to the Netherlands on my own.
How did you come to Morel?
I stalked Paul Green, literally stalked Paul Green. I told him he would be stupid if he didn't take me, but here I am.
Good morning, guys. Today I'm sitting down with Craig, and Craig is our man on the ground in the UK. Tell me, where were you born and where did you grow up and where do you live now?
I was born in London. I grew up in a place called Beckton, which is probably about 10 minutes from West Ham Stadium. Moved to Colchester when I was 12 or 13, and I've been in Colchester ever since.
What is your favourite sport to play or watch?
Definitely football. My favourite team is Man United. However, my second favourite sport to play is table tennis. Yep.
So, can you name something you've done that people would be surprised to know?
Probably the biggest one I always mention is that I've DJed for Snoop Dogg.
And what is your proudest accomplishment so far?
Yeah, my kids, 100%. Nothing closer than that. The fact that we've kept two alive this long without murdering them in Ibiza, that's an accomplishment in itself.
And how did you come to Morel?
Well, I was recommended, funny enough, by my mother. Lindsay was looking for someone in the UK to do recruitment. I was hired.
Perfect. Greg, let me stop my call.
Hello guys, we are here today to get to know a little bit better about Jaap Karim. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And where do you live now?
I am born in Deurne, which is in the Netherlands. I have also grown up there. I studied in Breda, which is the biggest city in the Netherlands. And I'm now living in Veghel.
What's your hobby?
Field hockey. I don't play competition, just for fun, and I like that. And beside of that, I am the trainer coach of my youngest daughter football team.
Name something about you or something you've done that people would be surprised to know.
What I've done is I traveled the world when I was graduated from my bachelor degree. I went all around Australia, all around New Zealand, all around Southeast Asia for a whole year.
What's your proudest accomplishment so far?
I am most proud of being a father. It was my dream. I have two daughters. I'm very proud that they are really well socially, and also on school they do really well. That's by far my proudest achievement.
And how did you come to Morel?
I have started through an agency company. So I started in August 2019, and after 1.5 years, Paul Green offered me a job to work directly at Morel, and I have never regretted. And I'm very happy that I'm here now. Bye bye, people.
Bye bye. Here, my colleague Niels. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And where do you live now?
I was born in a small city called De Lutte, which is in the Netherlands, of course. When I was a few weeks old, we moved to another small city close by called Rossum. When I was 25, I moved to a little bit bigger city, still in the Netherlands. And now I live in a really small town called Vasse.
What is your favorite game or sport to play, watch, or a name of your favorite sport team?
And I like football. I'm a fan of FC Twente. I like jogging, squash, padels.
How did you come to Morel?
I joined Morel in 2018 and I worked together with Morel since 2012 when I did part-time school. I was in the same class as the HR manager at that time of Morel Meet, and I was working at a recruitment agency, and we worked together on a lot of roles in Lichtenvoorde from 2012 to 2018. And then, because of the growth that Morel was in, they wanted to hire a permanent recruiter. I was hired.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, Adela. Bye-bye.
Okay, good morning, guys. Today I'm sitting down with Mr. Geert van Tilburg, also known as Geert. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And where do you live now?
I was born in the south of the Netherlands. Then I moved to Nijmegen, and then I moved to Limburg. That's really the south of the Netherlands because my wife is a midwife and she had her practice there.
What is your favorite game or sport to play or watch, or name your favorite sports team?
I like to do cycling, do a lot of cycling, also for charity. So I also like to see the Giro d'Italia. And when it's about soccer, it's Ajax, a little bit strange to be for an Amsterdam club, but that has to do with the roots. So my father was already loved Ajax.
What is your proudest accomplishment so far?
To raise my family, to raise my sons. I'm really proud of where they are. And business-wise, I'm already 35 years in the company.
Well, here, thank you very much.
And we will ask him some questions. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And where do you live now?
I was born in a hospital, so There everything starts. Grow up in a really small village, 10 minutes from our Boxmeer office. And now I'm living in Venray together with my girlfriend. And I have a son, and the second baby is also coming.
Name something about you or something you have done that people would be surprised to know.
Me and my friends, we are 34 or 35. And we are all together since we were 3 years old. We came together in the primary school. We go to every same school, and now what's 32 years later, we're still together every weekend. We try to go every weekend to the pub. I think that's amazing.
How did you come to Marel?
Lindsay, she called me. She's the problem that I'm here. A friend of mine, he's working in the Boxmeer office. We were sitting in the pub and he asked me if I was maybe interested in the job within Marel. I think a few weeks later, Lindsay, she called me, and 2 weeks later I signed the contract within Marel.
It was really a pleasure to have you here today.
Ciao.
Hi everyone.
I'm Pernilla. I was born in Vammen, a small village in Denmark in the middle of Jutland. I am the oldest of 3 girls. My dad is a welder and my mom is a social worker. After high school, I had 2 sabbatical years and I moved to Aalborg, where I live today. I moved there to study at the university, and I have managed to bring my husband from Copenhagen to Aalborg. So that's where we live today with our 2 boys. What you might not know about me is that I actually played football for 15 years. And the teams that we watch at our house and that we follow is Bayern München and FC Copenhagen. What I'm most proud of course, it must be my 2 boys. They can be brats, but they're also very funny and they have very good social skills, which I am really proud of. How did I come to Marel? I saw an advert and I applied, and here I am.
Born and grew up in Sukhothai. So the province is located in north central of Thailand, and now I live in Bangkok for about a decade.
Who is your favorite sport team?
I love to play and watch basketball. One of my favorite team is Denver Nuggets. So for some reason, I enjoy watching scrappy, young and underdog teams beat some of the giants and establish themselves at a 4th in the league. Yeah.
Okay, who is your favorite player? Maybe you can tell us.
I can't remember exactly his name, but he joined the team about a years ago. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And tell us, how did you come to Marel?
It happens since I worked with food industry 5 years ago, and I have known Marel since then. And I saw the vacancy on LinkedIn last year, and I applied.
And I'm a TA specialist at Marel. I live in Iceland, and I was born and raised in Reykjavik, which is the capital city of Iceland. And I really like working for Marel. I just applied when the position was advertised in the local newspaper, and I was so lucky to get the job. I love to travel, and I have been many times in lovely Tenerife, and we Icelanders really need to escape to warmer countries from time to time. But my favorite country is Italy, and my favorite city is Florence, and I studied Italian there many years ago, but I love everything about Italy. Spend time with my family and with my friends and have a nice dinner, go out for a drink and listen to good music. I have been in few choirs in the past and I love to sing. So next time we will meet, we will go to a karaoke bar. Adios!
Rosanna here. So I was born and raised in a small town in the north of Italy. But now I live in Copenhagen and I've been living here for the past 4 years. I tried different sports when I was a kid, but my absolute favorite were playing tennis and after that boxing. Something you might be surprised to know about me is that I really enjoy DIY renovations at home. I have a lot of fun when I get to sand boots, repaint old objects and see how they come to a new life. Talking about Marel, I discovered the company at the end of 2020 through a job ad that was posted on LinkedIn for a vacancy in the sourcing team. That sounded very appealing to me, so I decided to apply. And after that, I had a very inspiring conversation with Jaap about the role and the company. And that conversation then led to different interviews with the team, and eventually, well, you know,
I was born in the really, really nice area of the Westerwald. I don't know if you know it. And I have a house with my husband, a dog, a son. Yeah, we're happy. Yeah, it's so wonderful to have a family, to have a good family, and to have, of course, a child. Yeah. And so I lived for 10 years in Frankfurt for working, and also then in Heidelberg because I went there to the university, and then I also were in Corsica a lot of time. C'est pas très bien, mais oui, je parle français. Like a fan of Eintracht Frankfurt, and I really like when they play football. And but actually, I'm more the dancer. I danced all my life long. Yeah, I don't want to do it now, but I always wanted to be a musical star. To be honest, I always do. I'm lucky to be part of the team. Definitely. Yeah, it's really exciting. Really exciting work for me.
Hi guys, today we're sitting down with Mr. Paul Green, the man with the most famous moustache in the West.
I was born in Blackpool, which is in the background behind me. I moved around the UK as a child, mostly in the north of the UK. Spent a little bit of time in Wales, and now I live 20 minutes away, 50 kilometers away from when I was born, and 20 minutes away from my family home. So I've been fortunate enough to travel and live all over the world. So I moved from the UK. I lived in Tunisia in North Africa. I've lived in the US. I've lived in Thailand, and I've lived in Australia. I'm not very athletic, so I don't play much sports at all, but I love pretty much all sport. My favourite sport is rugby league, and my team is the Canberra Raiders, sponsored by Canberra Milk. I love all sports, especially fantasy sports, the Cowboys.
You're a big Manchester United fan, right?
That's right. Something that might be surprising is when I was younger, I was a pretty strong introvert, actually, which is difficult to understand given given how I am these days. I have a really horrific fear of heights.
Oh, really?
And I thought I could cure that by doing a solo skydive, which I did in Australia. So I did all of the training and then jumped out of a plane on my own. It didn't work. You know, I'm most proud of my boys, right? I got Paddy, who's 2.5, who is, you know, running as ragged already, and Lenny, who's just in 8 months, and last week started to crawl, actually. It's incredible to watch the journey of them, you know, growing up and maturing. So I couldn't be more proud of the boys.
How did you come to Morel?
Unsurprisingly, I didn't know who Morel was. I joined Morel in the role that Paul Sawati is doing currently. I joined as a short-term contractor just to help set up the processes and build some capability in the region.
Cool. Just going to learn a little bit about you. Where were you born?
I was born in a small city, Rockville, in the state of Maryland.
Where do you live now?
I live now in Lakeland, Florida. Yes, golf is without a doubt one of my favorite sports to play. I also play recreationally basketball and softball now that I'm older. But yes, golf is the true passion of mine. But one of my favorite players to watch was a gentleman named Jason Williams. He had several nicknames, one of which was a white chocolate, and he was my absolute favorite player to watch. I have several of his tattoos on my body, and not many people are aware of that. So yes, that's a unique thing that not too many people know.
Awesome. All right, what's your proudest accomplishment so far?
I played baseball and basketball for my 7th grade team, and I was voted or elected or given a trophy as the athlete of the year. So
how did you come to Morel?
Yeah, so I had interviewed a long time before I was with Morel with somebody amazing out of Europe named Lindsay.
So Eric Barr from the part of the TA team from the North America region started back in October of 2021. Born in Lakeland, Florida, a little bitty town in the lovely state, the Sunshine State. Yes, sir.
And where do you live currently?
Zephyr Hills, Florida. So love golf. Used to play basketball a lot till I got too old for it. But I love to play golf.
Okay, and I see a background for this call. Is there a preferred sports team that you follow?
Yeah, big Dallas fan, huge Dallas Cowboy fan, and a Chicago Bulls fan. Grew up in the Michael Jordan era back in the day, but ready for football season starting soon.
Something surprising about you that we may not have already known.
Sure, yeah, I got 2 tattoos, both for my children. One is a penguin for my daughter Abby. The other one's some waves for my son Logan.
Very nice. And your proudest accomplishment?
Raising my 2 kids.
I'm good. What about you?
I'm great. What is your favorite game or sport to play, watch, or name of your favorite sport team?
On Slovakia is very popular hockey, and also it's in Nitra. Nitra have a great team, Nitra, and they play really good hockey. So probably my favorite sport is hockey.
And name something about you or something you have done that people would be surprised to know.
I was tutoring the math during my study because I was studying on gymnasium, and it was with the accent on math and physics.
How did you come to Marel?
Actually, one of our great colleagues found me on LinkedIn, especially Jaap, and he just asked me like, hey, we have this offer, maybe you will be interested, and so on. So, and I was like, yeah, let's try. I am here in Marel. Yeah, exactly.
All right. It was great to have you here today. Thank you very much. And speak to you soon. Bye.